Excuse me. Excuse me.
Thierry, hello.
Yes.
Hello.
All right.
Welcome to India. Nice to see you here. You are a commentator now, and you used to be a player earlier, obviously. So what is your approach to commentary? Do you believe in being brutally honest, or do you believe in being a little sensitive to players?
Can you hear?
No.
Can't hear well. Can the mic be adjusted for him, please? Because we can't hear. Are we audible? So when he's talking, can you guys hear him well? You guys can hear him well, but that mic's not working well. So if you can just... I think that's echoing, so... No,
No,
his
I'm okay.
voice is clear.
No, I didn't
It's
hear what
when
he's saying.
his mic isn't that
I think
clear.
try without the mic. Maybe it's better.
Can I try again?
Try without the mic.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear you better.
Okay. When you're doing commentary, do you believe in being absolutely honest, or should you be, or being a
Not
little
audible.
sensitive
I'm
to
really
players?
sorry for this technical glitch. Maybe till the mic is sorted out, you can ask the question like that.
Being a player, now you're a commentator. So what's your approach to commentary? Do you believe in being brutally honest, or do you believe in being a little sensitive towards players?
But there is it's a funny one, this one, because it's not, can you hear me? Yeah. It's nothing to do with being brutally honest or sensitive. It's just talking about what you just seen. So basically the action will dictate how the comment is going to be, as simple as that.
You were on air, France versus Ireland in 2009. What would you say?
Nothing. You play until the ref blow the whistle. That's the first rule they teach you in the game.
Thierry, your old boss Arsene has been mentioned as the next England manager. Do you think it'll happen? Would you like to see it happen? And is he the right man for the job?
First and foremost, I think he answered himself recently. He said that the England manager should be English. That's his own words. I don't see it happening myself, but who knows? You know, I said it recently that Arsene likes to be on the field on a daily basis, and when you're coach of a national team, you don't get to do that. But you can never say never, but I personally don't see it happening.
Who do you tip for the title this season in the Premier League?
Sorry?
The title this season, who do you think is going to win it?
It's, you know, you have 5 teams in 1 point. So I think it's going to be an amazing race, an amazing title race this year. It looks like Man City were pretty strong, and then are you can hear? It seems like Man City were pretty strong at 1 point. Then they're having also their struggle. So we will see how it's going to go. Liverpool have been playing a lot of games away from home. So it looks like they have a little edge at the moment, especially where they won those games. But look, you know, in the last 3 games, Man City lost 7 points, a defeat and 2 draws at home. So you know, you can never tell in this league. At the beginning of the season, I said that I think Man City will be champions, but again, this year showing us that nothing is easy in that league.
Thierry, when I was younger, when you were playing in Arsenal, 2002, 2003, that time you used to say that when you have the ball, you're not scared. The person who's facing you should be scared. Is that what you tell the kids when you're coaching as well? Is that what your thinking is?
Well, I mean, the main point of the game is to try to get the ball back. So I always used to say, and I had the feeling that if you have the ball, you shouldn't be scared of what's happening, because everybody always try to put all type of tactics to make sure that they can get the ball back. So when you have it, you shouldn't be scared. Yeah, that's what I'm trying all the time to say. You know, when you're facing the defender with the ball at your feet, he should be worried, not you. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, every time. Yeah.
What is your first impression on Indian Super League? And have you been a little younger? Would you have been come for the Indian Super League to play for it?
Well, it's difficult to I saw 1 game yesterday. I'm sure you're aware of that. That was the first time I saw the the ESL. Very difficult to judge in one game the evolution of the league, such a young league. But I can base myself on what I heard, especially with Fredrik Lundberg, Pires, Anelka. You know, I spoke to Diego Forlan before the game and some of the bosses that have been in the league for a little while. One thing that you need at the moment in this league is a bit of history, so a bit of years, to make sure that, you know, when you go at the stadium with your dad, that your dad can tell you, I remember when the league started 30 years ago, the rivalry was in between those two teams, we won there, and blah, blah, blah. You know, that you need to create that type of history. And yesterday the game, as I saw, you know, was a pretty even game that I guess when you have a guy like Diego Forlan being able to be in the box and score a goal like he did yesterday, winning the game for Mumbai. But I need to see more to be able to really judge the quality of the league. But all I know is the response of the fans and who is coming and the sponsors trying to be around the league and trying to promote the league. Everything is going in the right direction. Now you also need to work on the youth to make sure that, you know, that's going to be the future. It's one thing to bring international players, international coaches. That's vital also to promote the league. But you need to make sure that the youth system is going to be great in order to survive and maybe, you know, one day for you guys qualify for a big tournament.
What do you think was going to win this year's Ballon d'Or award? This year's Ballon d'Or award.
Ballon d'Or. Oh, sorry, I couldn't get it. Oh, I don't know. I think you have a lot of guys that had a good year. Griezmann had a good year. Obviously, Ronaldo winning for the first time something with Portugal, and also winning the Champions League again. So, you know, the Barca guys, you know, Leo, Suarez, and Neymar, especially Neymar winning for the first time the Olympic Games for Brazil. So, you know, those guys have been successful with their club and successful with their country. Gareth Bale also, you know, so we will see. You know, that's out of everyone's hand. People are voting, and we will see who's gonna win. But I would like to think that it's gonna be along those players.
You think Cristiano has gone ahead of Messi by winning the Euro Cup?
I feel like I have to. It's the same discussion every year. Who is ahead, who is behind, who is a bit ahead, who is a bit behind. I think those guys have been, for us, amazing to watch. And I think at the end of the very day, they both needed each other to raise to reach a certain level, to raise their game, if it's even possible. Because obviously what they've been doing recently is just crazy. But, you know, it's Cristiano won the Euro with his team. I still personally think that I'm going to be biased because I played with Leo, so I think for me he will always be the one. But we'll see. You know, Neymar won the if you talk about who is the best, you know, it's a hard one. But for me, those two guys have been the best, hands down, in the past, you know, 10 years. It's just amazing what they achieved, and you know, people are going to judge exactly what you said. Who was the best this year, who is the best, but I think we should be happy and fortunate enough to say that we saw those guys play. I'm always going to be a Leo Messi lover. I played with the man.
Thierry, is there anyone from the current Arsenal side who comes closest to in terms of what you've done for the club?
I don't like this type of things because at the end of the day, everybody has their own era, their own time, their own teams. I think they're doing their own thing right now, and hopefully we can finally win the league. It's not about who is the closest to Dennis Bergkamp or Robert Pires or whoever you want to mention. I think it's about them having their time and their success in their era. I think that's the most important thing, and it looks like finally things are going the right way, and we can compete again early during the season and not in mid-season or maybe towards the end. So let's see how far it's going to go. And you know, I just, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I just want, as I can see you wearing the jersey, I just want Arsenal to win the title as a fan myself. But are they going to do it? The competition is massive.
An example could be Alexis Sanchez. I mean, he was a winger, now he's playing centre forward.
Well, he plays centre forward for Chile, so if you know your own player, you should know where he plays. Udinese also plays center forward, so I think he can play wherever he wants. That's the quality that he has.
Thierry, you have been a striker, okay? So how difficult is it for you as a coach to not think as a striker while coaching a team?
Well, it's the same thing, you know. People always think that strikers are different. We are in a way, we were sometimes a bit, I would say, or goalkeepers. Goalkeepers also from their line, they can analyze the game, they can see everything. Usually they are the guys that can talk. And for us also being at the top of everything, when you turn at times, you see what's missing or not, you know, and the knowledge of the game is still the same, regardless of if you're a striker, a right back, a center midfielder, you know, or if you're a great player or not a great player, that doesn't mean that you can't see the game. No, I don't think like that because, you know, for example, if I like a certain way of playing, I'm not going to think about that because I'm a striker. It doesn't really change that. You know, I used to play a certain way, and you know, seeing the games doesn't change because I was a striker or not.
Thierry, I'm from Gibraltar, from the other side of the world. You played us a couple of weeks ago. You beat us 6-0. Just a question, what was the biggest influence you had as a player from a coach? Because you played under some very good coaches. So what was, I mean, for you personally, the coach that shaped you or your biggest influence in football?
They all shaped me. Every single coach that I had shaped me. Even the one that didn't believe in me, because they do shape you in a way. The one that do believe in you, they shape you in a different way because obviously you can grow a bit more with confidence. But I always say that sometimes, you know, I found out about myself a bit more when I had difficult periods in my career, because when the chips are down and people are not really helping, that's when you're alone at times and you need to make sure that you can go back on track. But obviously, you know, I can talk about, you know, the history of my career with the guys that you guys don't know about, because you know about Arsene, because you know about Pep, because you know about the guys that are in the national team and whatnot. But the guys that are also very important is the guy that you have when you're an amateur. Those guys do really shape you actually and prepare you to go to the professional world. And then the professionals, managers, shape you a different way. You know, they shape you to be ready and prepared to live in that world. But, you know, I had young managers that, again, you guys would not know about, that were great for me at a young age. So I'm not going to name them all, but in a way, the point that I'm trying to make is the obvious one for you will be Arsene, because it was amazing for me in my development. Pep also in a different way after when I went to Barcelona. Then I can mention Aimé Jacquet and some others in the national team. And guys also that you will not know that didn't believe in me when I was 13 or 14. But it did help because I raised my game trying to prove them wrong also, you know. So any little help that didn't look like a help at times, you know, that was the one.
And what advice would you give youngsters in India who are trying to make the, you know, trying to further their career here in football? What advice would you give any youngster, not just in India, but any youngster to progress in football?
First and foremost, you need to have the right structures around. So what I mean by that is being able to dream is key for a youngster. So you mentioned India, so I'm gonna stay in and around where we are right now. So, for example, being able to see games now on TV and see every single league, you can actually dream about it. But then after, maybe when you go to your local club and you don't see the same facilities, the same approach, or the same education that maybe you think that people might have in Europe, it becomes very difficult. So you dream when you see that on TV, and it doesn't become, or cannot maybe become a reality because you don't have all the tools that you need to have in order to succeed. But I think that what ISL is doing, what PUMA is doing also to try to raise awareness and making people come here to teach the locals, coaches, to teach some of the youngsters to know about the game earlier, I think that's going to be very important. You know, then after we can talk about, because if you don't have all the foundations right from the start, it's difficult to give an advice to someone that cannot actually try to put it. I can always tell you work hard, I can always tell you listen to your coach, but what is your coach is saying to you? So if I tell you to listen to your coach and he doesn't give you the right advice, then you're going to turn and say to me, oh, I listen to my coach, but it seems like it doesn't work. One thing I can say, always dream that you can believe, that you can do it, and always believe that you can. Believe is very important. You know, if you don't believe in yourself, who will?
Yeah. Just wanted to ask, how do you pick brand endorsements? How did you pick PUMA, and how's the journey been so far?
Well, it's a simple one. I think, you know, there is at one point you reach a certain level where you can have, you communicate with brand. I don't pick PUMA, they don't pick me, we pick each other. We met, we had a good understanding of where we wanted to go, especially with grassroots. That's very important, you know. People always talk about it is where it is, we're not going to lie, marketing is important, exposure of the brand is important. But in the meantime, while you're doing that, if you can also give back to the youth, it's very important. And that's how it happened basically with me and PUMA.
Excuse me.
For more news and gossip, don't forget to subscribe to Bollywood Helpline.